Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Drew and you're watching Drew the Theme Park Dude. So just before we begin here, I just want to give a massive spoiler warning. This video right now will cover every detail about this Beetlejuice house. So if you guys are not wanting to hear anything about it, click off right now because I do not want to spoil it for anybody without, letting them know in advance. So this is your spoiler warning. Go click on a different video I have and then come back to this video when you are ready to either hear about it or experience this house next year when it most likely will return. But if it happened, because it's not confirmed by Universal, but most likely it will, because I know not everyone got to go through the house, so just warning you once again, a spoiler warning, because from now on there will be a spoiler warning. Okay, now we got the spoiler warning out of the way. There's going to be a little bit of an audio issue with this video. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to figure out the best way I can do audio, especially for like collabs in the future. So if you get with like other YouTubers, comment down below if you guys know any way to really fix that on this channel. So yeah, here we go. Beetlejuice 2020 HHN Maze Review. So and once we got all the people that do not want to hear anything about it, spoiler warning, now let's go into the maze. So you start off near Barney, where like the big sign is, which you guys are probably going to be seeing sometime in this video, a photo of it. It has like the warning sign and then tells you the story of the house, where it's basically you're going through the movie while Beetlejuice is there kind of tormenting you the entire way. Then you go up exactly where Graveyard Games was last year. And you go up that parade building, which is kind of far back there, but it's not that bad. And then you cut the corner, and then you meet this beautiful facade right here. You know, even though it's not like a physical, it's like a really good piece of artwork, and it's actually pretty neat, like, just to see it kind of, I don't know, it's pretty neat. Especially for Orlando, because we don't really normally get that well-made facades. Like, at least 3D facades. So for a 2D facade, this is pretty good. And then you socially distance in line. This is a virtual queue only attraction. There were ways to get standby, which I'm going to be going over that actually right now before we get into the house. So, I got up at 6 a.m., got to the park at around 7:30 because I left at around 7. They immediately let me in the park, and then I cut the right, and I see this, decent amount of people standing there because the workers were not letting them back there yet. Everyone was on their phones, keep refreshing. Reminded me a lot of the Rise of Resistance, but not as bad, but still kind of reminds me of that, where you have to get up early and try to get the join return time. So everybody's standing there, we're all trying to get return time, just rushing with the thing. And then they open it up to us at 7:40. They let us walk. And right halfway while we're walking, I hear someone yell, "The virtual queue's open! Virtual queue's open!" And if that person did not yell that, I don't even know if I get to experience the maze. Because when I hear that, I pick up my phone, click virtual, click 10:15, booked. I'm like, oh, no. So I click 11:10. Luckily, I managed to get an 11:10 return time. My dad, who was with me, was unable to get a return time, but since I got one for 2 people, it wasn't like he got to go with me, so it wasn't that bad. So I was very lucky. There was several people that were unable to get one, because if you showed up like within 12 seconds after, I believe, you were not getting a return time, at least as of that time. There were other ways to get in the house. You could stand by and like the entrance, and maybe a worker would come over and be really nice to you and let you in, which I saw several people get, which is very good because then more people get to experience the house. More return times did open up throughout the day as well. You just have to be on your phone. And also there was a standby type thing where you can stand. You're not guaranteed access, but there's a good chance you'll get on. So now we get that out of the way, let's get into the details for the Beetlejuice 2020 Maze Review. So, once you enter the maze, you see Beetlejuice up there, and he's like, "Hello, welcome to my place." And he's talking to you. It's a live actor. You go a couple down and backs. It's still part of the line, so you guys are probably have already seen or will be seeing images from that little scene in there, because you were allowed to. He's like, "Hey, want to take a picture?" And, like, you can do like a selfie, but I was on it because I'll show my face. I'm not gonna put that in there, but I'm gonna show us of just like Beetlejuice presenting and stuff. Live actor actually talks to you. He complimented on my mask and shirt because they were the Beetlejuice mask and shirt, so that was pretty neat. Then after that, you cut to the right, and you go through like this big black and white Wonderwork style thing. It's like a platform, and there's like a big spinny thing all around you, and it's just spinning like a black and white thing, like you're entering the world of the dead. Then you cut straight into the waiting room, which was, no, a few doors. There's like a couple of the Beetlejuice doors. You get your first scare from Beetlejuice himself. No, it wasn't Beetlejuice. It was the girl saying, "If don't say his name 3 times, which was like a girl with like a plastic mask on, So this house was not scary. It was a lot of jump scares. but not scary. So that was one thing. Like, if they're not like scary, like bloody, gory stuff, same, but like I'm not a fan of that. So that's why I really feel like I did enjoy this house. But I do not mind jump scares. I actually kind of find them fun, and this house was full of them, so that was really good. Especially with like the limited scare actors. Then you see Beetlejuice for the first time, and he's like, "Hey, come on, come on!" And then like you cut right into the waiting room where you see the guy with like the shrunken head, the guy that has like a cigarette that's like burnt to a crisp. You see all the different people. You have a scare from one of them from one of the walls. Reminds me a lot of the Slimer scare from Ghostbusters because it was kind of right up against a wall as you're looking at a scene from the other direction, kind of catching you off guard. So that's what it reminds me the most of there from last year's Ghostbusters. But keep in mind, these mazes are nothing alike. One is very fun, but not that scary, not that really, the theming was the best, but Beetlejuice was well-rounded, really well made. I think they're both good, I think Beetlejuice was far superior. And I've got to make a Tooth Fairy review. I'll hopefully get one. If I don't, I'll probably just make an ultimate review off of all of Universal's Halloween 2020 stuff. So you'll get some Tooth Fairy stuff in that as well. But yeah, after that, you walk into the attic of the Barbara Maitland Manor, is what I call it. I don't even know that's what the name, but Barbara and Adam's house. And you see the Barbara as a ghost. You're like, boo. That's actually the scare. It's someone wearing a white thing and saying boo. Did not get me, but I thought it was really cool to see that from the movie. Lots of Easter eggs, like the book of Recently Deceased is on there. Lots of stuff, like the Sandworm newspaper. A lot of details from like the movies is in there. And then you cut to a scene where you go through I don't know if I can say this on here. The pants Inferno is what I'll say, because I think I'm okay to say it. I just want to be 100% safe, so it is family friendly. The pants Inferno. You go in, and it's like the big red, and you see like the Beetlejuice guy on the side, and he's like dancing with like the big like spike ball on him, and then you get like startled by one of like the girls comes out, and is like, "Hello, welcome," and then you cut to the scene and then the second I entered this next scene was when I was actually like, oh my gosh, you hear Deo. And I was like, the audio was incredible. This was probably one of my favorite scenes of the house. You hear Deo. You hear like the whole theme song. Not going to sing it because maybe I'll get copyrighted somewhere on Mr. Beast did. Don't know. But then you sing the song. You cut the corner. And you see the shrimp like on the table above you. And it's like you're under it. And then you see like the table and like the shrimp come down at you. And like really neat since they're not like actors or anything. And then you see the bottom of the Beetlejuice snake, which you guys saw on the thumbnail on the left. Not the sandworm, but the snake. And then the next scare, this was what got me the most. A big plastic face of the snake pops out at you, and since it's not an actor, it can get up really close. And then you see a Barbara scare with the stretched face as well as an Adam scare with the stretched face. Back to back, worked really well. I really did enjoy that. Then you see a Lydia scare, which wasn't really... It was a really good what they did with it. I really did like the costume, and it did get me. So it was really neat to see a live actor portray that character. And now you're going to the next scene, which is the big finale. You hear Shake, 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 Shania. You hear that entire song. You enter and you see you see Beetlejuice and Lydia, which was, I think it was a live actor Beetlejuice, but a fake Lydia, stand there, and you're like, and they're like, oh wait, no, before you're at that, you go into the clay model as well, and you see Beetlejuice a few times. But now you're going into the finale scene where you're back at the house, you see them, and he's like, yuck, yuck, and he starts terrorizing the entire house with the carnival scene with Ortho running away. And then when you think it's over, you see Beetlejuice another time pop out, and he's like, well, that's my show. And then you see the priest guy from the movie pop out, and I waved to him and he waved back. It was a nice little scare there. It wasn't really a scare, it was more of an interaction, which this house did really well with interaction. And then I thought the house was over. I walked to the bright light I see, and then a probably 30-foot something sandworm aims at me like the Jurassic Park dinosaur, widens its mouth, and clamps right in front of my face, giving me probably the best heart attack, the best thing I've had to a heart attack in my entire life. I'm sorry, but I was not expecting that. I was kind of disappointed at that point, because I was like, there's no sandworm, oh no. Out of nowhere, giant sandworm coming right at you. That was incredible. Unlike Clownzilla and the Mind Flare, where they're like kind of their puppets and they don't really come at you, this came at you. I don't know if it was just for me, because I know a lot of people did not get that exact scare as I did, but some people did. Best thing in the entire maze, in my opinion. I just loved the puppet. It was just so cool, and it looked exactly like a Sandworm. Had like the inside thing on him, like the outside shell. Came at me. Oh, it was so good in that scene. And then you exit that a beautiful Sandworm. I'm sorry. And then you see Beetlejuice say, "You only have 2 shows a night," and then you see him like do some funny dance to like the Shake Shannara song, and then you exit. So yeah, that was my complete, I guess, full thoughts on it. But to kind of gather up all my thoughts, I would say Beetlejuice is a solid 9 out of 10 maze. It is my favorite maze I've done at Halloween Horror Nights or any event. But with that being said, I've only been to HHN 29, and which was last year, and the mazes this year. So it's not like a crazy amount, because I only have another 12 different mazes to base it off of, 10 from last year and then the 2 others for this year, kind of to base it off of. So I don't really have a crazy list of like 60, 70 mazes, but Beetlejuice was just incredible, and I really would be very disappointed if it does not return next year, and I think everyone here should. So yeah, with that being said, this video is already kind of long. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do a massive like and subscribe if you want to watch a random video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, everyone. See ya. Bye.